Hey yo, what's up with it? Welcome to a tribe called Boss. Now let's get it. You already know that it's the Mr. GQ to you, fool. And I'm back with something new for the toe. You feel me? Now, I'm gonna try something new with this. This series will be GQ's point of view and reviews. Or we gonna play with we gonna play with it a little bit. But what I will be doing with this channel or with this series is I'm going to be reviewing. With this specific series, I'm gonna be reviewing Power. I don't know if you guys watch Power, but this is one of my favorite shows. It shows on Star. It is on Stars. It's 50 Cent show. Adriel, what's up, man? I'm live streaming right now on Twitch. Everything that I do for any of my channels, I will be live streaming on Twitch. So if you want to, you can please, if you want to review and you want to interact with me live, you can go ahead and find me at twitch.tv/ it's Mr. GQ to you, like it says up there on top of the screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and break down this first episode of Power, Book 2, or I don't know if this is Book 2, Book 3, Raising Kanan, though. This is season 2 of this, and I just want to give a shout out to Mark Dark TV and Lamont Tyson because they are the ones that I kind of got, got my idea from of even reviewing any episodes because I've watched a few of their reviews for all kinds of stuff. I watched their Power reviews kind of faithfully. So I just want to give them their kudos and just thank them for inspiring me to take my foot in this direction. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump into this review. So this is the intro right here. Starts off with a chess piece in the middle of New York. So boom. Let's see. Power Universe, 50 Cent. This is one of the greatest series ever. I like every single series, and it's kind of crazy because I used to not even like Raising Kanan. I used to think that I didn't like it. I know last season I thought it was so slow. I thought the lighting was pretty bad. Everything was so dark. I used to fall asleep on every single episode. But I just had to rewatch the whole thing because I liked the first episode of season 2 so much that I didn't want to start these reviews and miss anything from the last season. And it's kind of crazy because there's so much that I missed, and it wasn't even really a bad season. So I don't know what I was doing. Maybe I was just working too much and I was tired. But yeah, I got a whole new perspective on this. So anyways, let's go ahead and jump into the next slide. So, this is the infamous intro to the whole Power Raising Kanan series. It's pretty much just Rock, kind of looking over the city, thinking that she just running the world, you know what I mean? And she's talking about she never wanted to bring her son Kanan into this, which, at first I don't think she wanted to, but now, there's no choice. He kind of forced himself into the game, and, now they just got to accept it, and he has to play his part. So, boom, we skip into the next scene. So what we're doing right now, we're just covering everything that happened in the last season. So boom, we skip into this next scene where she's buying the top 2 apartments for 2 floors. They're connected. I don't know if it's apartments or whatever, but it's in the projects pretty much. So there's like 8 stories. She buys one in the corner for the 8th on the 8th story and one in the corner on the 7th story. And what she does is she connects the 2 and she hollows out, kind of like where they would bake, like in the oven and stuff, so that whenever they do get raided by cops, all they got to do is drop the drugs down. And she ends up turning this whole thing out. Now, what I did miss from last season is that Robert Moses, I think is his name. If you guys don't remember, Symphony was talking to her boyfriend Symphony at the time, the dude she was involved with. He's very into like architecture and the history of architect and all that, and he's kind of obsessed with this dude named Robert Moses. Robert Moses, I guess, back in the days, they made all of these buildings in New York City to kind of be. It's more of a classy area. It was made to be more of a classy area. But what happened was when Robert Moses came into the scene, he kind of changed everything to where all the poor people would be bunched up in one area, and all the rich people would be separated. So he kind of segregated the system. So there's a scene in episode 2 of season 1 where they're looking at the project buildings, and he's telling her about. I don't know. We'll go ahead and get into that. I don't want to spend too much time on that right now. So boom, you see that jukebox. She's kind of mad at her uncles because her uncle and her uncle, because her uncle owns the studio now, and he's getting people into the studio, and he's not showing no love to her. So she's kind of getting a little jealous, kind of getting a little mad. So it is what it is. She's gonna feel some type of envy. This is where Famous is. Famous is kind of trash to me. You feel me? But I don't know if they really think he's hard, or they just doing that for the movie. But Jukebox was on this song, and he's all super happy. You see him right there. Whatever. Whoop-de-woo. In the first season, you seen that his partner was kind of wondering like why Detective Howard is so obsessed with Kanan and his whole family. And if you don't remember, I'm sure you do, because it's kind of what this whole story is about. He ends up finding out that Kanan is his son, and he ends up trying to look out for him in every which way possible, which comes to eventually end up biting him in the ass because Kanan is the one who shoots him. So here we go. We see Rock, kind of talk. This is the dude I was talking about. That's, he's a teacher. He's in love with just architecture. Just the buildings, and how everything is set up in New York. And so you see that here she is saying that our shit was never real, Symphony. What she did is she was trying to break it off with him at some point. And you could tell that she really likes him and he really likes her. It's kind of one of those things where they're like a twin flame or whatever you may call it. But usually love comes with a lot of complications, especially when you're living two complete different lifestyles. So they kind of butt heads in certain areas, and she's kind of hard to accept love. There's a lot of women out there that they just do what they have to do to get by, and it's hard for them to really accept a man that's trying to love them. So she kind of like tries to push him away, even though she knows she really wants him there, and kind of she almost needs him, So boom, right here we see Jukebox singing with her girlfriend. This is one of the most dramatic scenes, I guess, that Jukebox has in this series. She was singing. They was at the mall. They went on like one of their first dates together. It was at the mall, and the white girl kind of put the mic in Jukebox's hand and kind of made her feel more comfortable with showing her talent and singing in front of people, in front of a camera. So that was she really held that to heart. But her dad, hold on 1 second. So Jukebox's dad, I'm sorry about that. I got a couple of dogs, and my dad, he's a personal trainer. So, sometimes people will come in and he takes them downstairs. A whole bunch of people come in and my dogs go wild or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, let's go ahead and cut back into this. So Marvin is her dad. And then this dog, hold on 1 second. Stay in. So Marvin is her dad, is Jukebox's dad, and he ends up finding out that Jukebox was a lesbian, and that she was involved with this white girl. So when she ends up finding out that this white girl ended up dying off of the bad batch that Kanan made, he ends up getting into it with Jukebox and telling Jukebox that she got what she deserves, and they got into it, and this was the result from that. So, they're not really, when you go into this season, they're going to be kind of heated with each other, and there's going to be some problems with that. Right here, you see Unique over here talking about, why would I kill a cop? He knows he's getting set up at this point. This is kind of at the end of the season, and he knows that word is going around that he's getting set up. And he's like, why the fuck would I, I'm making all this money, I'm doing all this. Why the fuck would I kill a cop? Whoop-de-whoop. I really like Unique's character. He's pretty clean. This is Joey Badass, if y'all didn't know. So he ends up knowing that he got set up for this, and he ends up eventually going to jail. And you can see right here, this is Rock's boyfriend, Symphony, and you can see that he's kind of feeling used and abused at this point. You know what I mean? Like, she just called him so that he could take Kanan outside of New York, or outside of their area, so that he could get away. And that's when he drove them to Manhattan or something. I'm not sure. But he just drove them away. She didn't talk to him for a while before that, and she called him because she knew that she needed him. And he came, and you could just see that he's getting frustrated with the way that their relationship is going. Smooth, what's happening, bro? I'm doing this damn review because last time you came over, we don't ever get no work done because you just want to, whatever. I don't even want to get into that. But anyways, this is the first scene where season 1 starts. And you can see that Kanan, he's out on vacation. He's out in, I don't know what this is. I think this is Manhattan or something. He's just in a nicer area, and he's on vacation. And, it starts with 50 Cent narrating the episode, and it talks about, nobody from the hood ever goes on vacation. They'll never see it. Like, if you ever come from urban area, it's kind of hard for, it's like crabs in a bucket mentality, to where I don't know, you just never really see yourself going anywhere. But so you see him talking about, I'm just taking a last look is all. Really, you could kind of feel that he kind of regrets getting into the game, and he kind of don't want to leave. So you could kind of get that from this scene. But his mom is coming to pick him up to take him back home. She thinks that it's all calmed down, and she's ready to take him back home. Right here, we find out that Detective Howard ended up surviving, which we all knew, because at the end, he was kind of alive. He was, waking up, moving around or whatever. But Detective Howard is playing. I don't know if he's playing that he just doesn't remember anything, or he really doesn't remember anything. But he did have leukemia. I don't know if you guys remember. He did have leukemia. They detected cancer. I don't know if cancer is leukemia, but they said cancer. And now, for some reason, he is completely healed. And they're all surprised about that. But they're saying that, his memory loss is surprising, whatever. I think he's just playing dumb because he's trying to cover up for Kanan. But, I haven't even watched the second episode. I watched the whole first season. And I didn't want to watch the second episode because I didn't want to mess up this review, and this is my first review. I know I might not get no likes, you feel me? This is just practice, though. So, anyways, I'm excited to see episode 2 of this season. I've been dying to see it. But, I knew I had to get this out the way. I've been kind of pushing this off for a while. And I just got to get something, on wax. So if you're watching if you're watching on my Twitch, you know what's happening. Talk to me. And again, if you guys want to watch anything that I do, I will be doing podcasts live on Twitch. I will be doing other stuff like streaming games, or doing stuff like this, doing my reviews. Anything that gets uploaded on my YouTube, I'm going to be doing live on Twitch. So if you ever want to just stop in, and kind of interact with me, you could go ahead and put messages. It'll show up on screen. You could kind of give me your input on what you think about it. Smooth, I don't know if you still there. One of my boys, Smooth, he definitely watches Power. He follows along a little bit. So, if he is still there, let me know how you liking this season. But we're going to go ahead and keep on rolling. So, I want to go back to this because Kanan is at his auntie's house. And when it cuts back after this scene, it cuts back to him going to being actually at the house. And he's there with like his little cousins or his nephews or something like that. And they're playing the game. I think they're playing the Sega Genesis. It kind of gave me a little feeling of nostalgia, but and they're talking about how they want to grow up and be cool. They seeing everything on TV, so they're seeing rappers, they're seeing people like that, that come with the chains and they got the money, they get the girls, and they're like, man, I don't want to I don't want to live out here no more. I want to go to New York, and it's too slow out here. So and what he says is, man, like if it was my choice, I'd rather be here. So you could see that he wants to be. He kind of is having a change of heart. He's kind of torn right now, and he kind of doesn't even want to be in the game. But he kind of stepped in too deep. He forced himself in, and he's gonna have to deal with the consequences of his actions. So right here we see Lulu talking to his girl, or talking to this little thought. You know what I'm saying? I think her name is Jessica. I'm not really sure. I think we'll figure it out down the road. He's gonna bring up her name, and she's asking why her little brother, because she's her little brother's manager, Famous. The one that was that they were playing in the other car. She's asking why he's not getting more studio time, and why he's not putting more time into him, more marketing and stuff. And he's kind of mad. He's sitting there like he's not even doing his part. He's not writing. He's not. His music wasn't really selling. So why am I gonna keep putting money and energy into that when like he's not when it's not coming back with anything? Like it's like you're putting more effort into something. Like he's not gonna waste his time and energy on something that he's not gonna get a return on his investment with. So, they're kind of arguing about that, and he's just sitting there like, when are you gonna stop, trying to drill me as his manager, and when are you gonna be my girl? And what comes to find out, we see that she is, really a little thought. You know what I'm saying? Because in the first season, you see that she's kind of sitting there and she's flirting around with the other dude that owns the studio, who is Crown Camacho or whatever. So we'll see what happens later on in this episode with that. The next scene is we see Lulu driving away, and then he sees this girl driving by, and she's blasting out music, and he notices that it's his beat that is playing from the car, and he doesn't even know who's on the song, so he ends up driving by her and hearing this song, and this is like the lyrics from her song. So he ends up driving by, and he ends up cutting her off on some Kane from Menace to Society type of thing, you know what I mean? And she ends up getting mad, and he's just like, let's see if I got it. So she ends up getting mad. It's like, why are you cutting me off? You know what I mean? He did it real smooth, like Kane, like real player, like. But so he ends up giving her his business card and saying, call me, like he didn't even really push up on her like he was trying to hit on her. You feel me? He kind of pushed up on her like on a business type of aspect. You feel me? And anybody out there, any kids out there, anybody that's having problem with women, you feel me? The best way to get a woman is to kind of get her in a way that she can work for you. You feel me? Because if you kind of like introduce her to a what is the word for it? If you introduce her to a opportunity, then she will always be grateful for that, and she will always hold you up in a different light than most other men. You feel me? She will have more respect for you. And when it comes to relationships and a woman dealing with the man, respect is the biggest thing that she has to have for you. So anyways, that's besides the point. But right here we see that Jukebox is still grieving over her girlfriend. This is a mixtape, I'm guessing. We see later on in the episode that she writes and she sings, and she does all that all the time. So I think this is a mixtape that she made, kind of just like a little bootleg mixtape. Probably recorded it, on some low, some not expensive, some inexpensive equipment that she probably did, and she's leaving it at the graveyard site. So all that really did was show us that she's still grieving over it. Right here, it cuts back to Kanan and Rock, kind of going back down to, I don't know where they're at, in Queens. I think they're in Queens. So they're driving back to Queens. And he's kind of talking about how he's still shook from the whole situation that happened, from the whole shooting. And, it's 50 Cent narrating over it, and then it kind of slows down into the real scene. And it starts off with Rock saying, that, the cop woke up, whatever, he didn't get the job done, and he's kind of scared, you know what I mean? Like, you can see it in his eyes right here. You can see it in his face. He's kind of scared, like, why are you bringing me back? Like, something could happen where I could end up getting caught up. And she's just trying to reassure him that he don't remember nothing, like he don't remember his name, whoop-de-woo, blah, blah, blah. And I guess we'll come to find out later on in the season if he's playing the cops and he's trying to protect them, or if he really don't remember anything. So, boom. Go ahead, and it cuts back to Marvin getting out of court. If you guys don't remember, he did get arrested because of that white girl that he was dealing with at that club. She was trying to get him on a wire. She had like a mic underneath her desk when they were fucking in the room in their office, and she was trying to get him to spill the beans on him selling her drugs or whatever. But anyways, the white girl skipped town, I guess, or something happened. She disappeared. And then he's kind of like, and he knows that he didn't say anything on the wire. He knows that because, like when he thought it was kind of weird. You could see it in his face when she kept saying like, why don't you just tell me? Like I'll give you the money once you tell me what you did for me. And he kind of like he had his nose up. Like he had his guard up. He knew what was going on. So, he's kind of mad right here because they're still trying to give him community service or whatever. And he's just kind of mad. Like, if they don't have nothing on me, then why the fuck do I still got to do community service or whatever? So what they're doing is they're offering him an anger management class, and they're saying that they got him on just weed. And he's kind of mad about that. But he ends up making a deal with them and saying that he will do 100 hours of community service. And we'll see what happens with that later on in the episode, too. It's an important piece. Right here, it goes into, what's his name? Detective Howard coming home with his partner. And when you see it, he opens the door up. He has 3 months. He was in the hospital for 3 months. You see that he has 3 months of mail kind of just at his front door, so he hasn't been home. And when they first come in, the house is all dark, like nobody's been there for the last 3 months. And his partner is walking around opening up the blinds, and she sees this on his desk, which is Kanan Stark. And she knows that Kanan is the boy from the beginning that he was kind of obsessed over. And I think she might feel like he's kind of working with them or something. I don't know if she feels like he's working with them and he's covering for them or whatever, but he knows that there's something going on with him and Kanan and their whole family, you know what I mean? So, she kind of looks at that and, she kind of just acts like she doesn't see it and she just keeps going. Soon as she leaves, this is what makes me wonder if he's really lying to them, is because soon as she leaves, he goes out and he looks out the window. He's peeking out the blinds to make sure that she's really gone. And, it kind of seems like he's moving a little suspicious, you know what I mean? So I guess we'll find out what's going on with him later on. So when Rock and Kanan, they get back into Queens, I think, or they're driving back into Queens or wherever they're from, they see Unique's boys over here. They still on the corners, you know what I mean? They still trying to get things the old-fashioned way. And they know that the block is still hot, you know what I mean? Just from, Detective Howard getting shot. So it breaks into this scene where Warrell's getting arrested. And Warrell's, like I said, he's one of Unique's boys. He's like his right-hand man. And it just shows that he's looking back at them and they're looking at him, and he's just getting arrested pretty much. So boom, it cuts into this episode where Rock is sitting here and she's introducing Kanan to, their new thing that they got going on. And this is kind of crazy. This is, she learned from Symphony about these project buildings right here, as I was saying from the beginning. And Symphony told her back in the days that when these buildings were first built, the richest people were up top because they wanted to get around. They wanted to get away. They wanted to stay away, far away from the broke people that were on the bottom. So it ended up turning around when Robert Moses, came into the picture, and he ended up making these whole buildings projects. So what he was saying was that the rich people like being up top because they could kind of see everything from miles away without having to be outside. They could see if there's danger outside. They could see what's going on. So she kind of took that from him. Which another thing, for all you young men out there, you feel me? Like if a girl is paying attention to what you say and she puts it into action, that really means that she really has a liking in you. You know what I mean? So just pay attention to a girl's actions. Don't really pay attention to her words, because as you heard, as you've seen before, she was talking about nothing that we had was real. Symphony, she was telling her boyfriend that, but she was soaking in all that knowledge that he used to think that he was just chatting, but she was soaking in all that knowledge, all that game that he was trying to kick from back then, and so that really goes a long way. That really means a lot. So really what it does is, on this episode or on this scene, it kind of goes up, and you can see two dope boys up top, on top of the buildings, and they could look out for cops from the top of the building, and they could see from miles away. So she kind of got this thing on lock. She got something new into the game. We're gonna go ahead, cut to the next scene. So again, she got the eighth and the seventh floor locked. You know what I mean? She done turned this whole floor into like a dope house, like a trap house kind of. And you see that she got the gates right here. Let me see. I got this right here. Yeah. So she got all these apartments right here rented out. And everybody's out here doing drugs, and they running the game, just from the top of the buildings, which is smart because the cops don't even know what's going on up there. And if the cops do come, they could see it from the people that's looking out from up top. You feel me? And anyways, it cuts into this scene where they see Unique, and he's about to get out. And the white boy, this white cop right here, he's kind of mad because he's talking to Unique and was like, "I can't believe that you getting out." And he's just like, "I didn't shoot the cop." And he's like, "You guilty of, something. You guilty of other things." And this is his comeback, which is one of the realest things in the world. He said, "I mean, everybody guilty of something." You feel me? And that's one of the realest bars ever. But yeah, so he ends up closing his door, and he kicks his feet up because he knows he's about to get out. Right here, you can see that this little project that they got going on, this new thing that they going on, everything is working out perfect. You feel me? They haven't ran into no troubles yet. They said that they on that God power, that slang, you feel me, for the new thing that they got. God power is, I think, 75,000. It's 75,000 that they make in a day, just out of this trap right here. So yeah, he's kind of just looking around, seeing everything. This is his first time really seeing what's going on. So boom. All right. So what we see here is that she was talking about how a lot of the tenants, at the bottom of the building, the people, because the whole building isn't turned out. You feel me? Like the first 6 floors are just regular people living in there, and they're complaining about how the halls are smelling like piss, how the elevators and the stairs are smelling like piss. And, she's just catching wind that, a lot of people are complaining about stuff. So what she says is, okay, from now on, we're going to take care of the little things. We don't need nobody bringing in drama, nobody bringing in, raising any eyebrows at the cops, calling in anything at all. So she's talking about, since they complaining about the hallways and, the stairs and the elevator smelling like piss, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and mop up all of those areas twice a day. And we're going to keep on making sure that all the tenants in this building got their groceries taken care of. We're going to keep giving them money so everybody keeps quiet. So it's kind of a win-win for everybody. But, every once in a while, there's going to be a Karen. You dig? There's going to be somebody that ends up snitching. Well, we'll see what goes on. This is the first episode. So, it's kind of just introducing us to everything that is about to, unfurl in the rest of the season. What we see here is Lulu. He ends up showing up late because, again, remember, he was stopping that girl. He was giving her, that girl, his business card. He's looking for new talent. He's trying to figure something out. And it says, sorry, I'm late. And what this is really just showing is that I guess he's been fucking up. You know what I mean? It used to be Marvin that used to be fucking up all the time. But now it's Lulu. You know, he kind of don't even really want to be there. So he's doing it half-hearted. He's kind of half-stepping. Um, and Raquel is just sitting there, or Rock. I keep calling her Raquel. I think it's short. I'm not sure though. But Rock, she ends up telling him, you know, you always late, you always fucking up, you always this, that. She's just, you know, kind of getting on him pretty tough. Um, but anyways, she says that she's seen Worrell making the block hot, you know, and she says she don't want that around because it's going to end up making it more likely that they'll get caught up. So she says, she brings up Worrell and Scrappy right here with the bandage on his eye. He's talking about, I'll take Worrell out. He thinks he owes him because, honestly, if you guys don't remember from the last season, he ended up infiltrating Unique's little gang, and they were supposed to shoot up the club where Famous and all them was kind of working at. And he ended up warning Lulu about it, and Worrell ended up catching him. And they ended up stripping him naked and shooting him in his head, which I guess turned out to be just eye damage, and he lost his eye. And they left him stripped out naked in front of in front of Rock's house. So, you know, he still kind of has anger about that. You know, he still wants his revenge. So, you know, it is what it is. But what she says is that she wants him to bring Worrell in for a conversation. And we'll see what that means later on in the episode too. And as you remember, I don't know if you remember when Kanan went to go address Scrappy about thinking that he snitched on I don't remember what it was exactly that she thought he snitched on. Oh yeah, about the dope house when he got hit by Unique. He went to go address Scrappy, and Scrappy was playing a dice game. So what it's breaking down right here is that Scrappy has a gambling problem, and Rock is telling him, I don't want you fucking with gambling no more. I need you to cut back on that. And his mom, like, she runs like a whole little gambling house or whatever. So she's telling him, I need you to stop doing that because it's going to come back and end up falling back on all of us. We'll all end up getting caught up. So boom, here we see Kanan, you know, kind of going into Juke's room, and he's talking to her about how he's having second thoughts about this whole thing and how he feels like this isn't for him, and he's second guessing everything. And you know, a lot of this episode is just about Kanan, you know, having second thoughts about this whole thing about him getting in the game. But like I said, he done put his foot in too deep into the pool. Now he's already waist deep, you know, like he can't really just get out without getting wet no more. You feel me? Like he's in the game, so he's gonna have to deal with all of the consequences to all of his actions. So I mean, it is what it is. Right here, it cuts back to Detective Howard at his house, and as soon as that his partner left, I guess the first thing he did was he went over there. He seen the case, and then he opened this up, and I don't know if. That's why I don't know if he really is. I don't know if he really has memory loss from everything that happened, because when it showed this scene, it kind of showed that it's like it sparked something up in his mind. You feel me? Like it's like seeing his face made him remember something. So I don't know if maybe it just made it dramatic like that, but you know that's I don't know. I forgot what I was going to say. Lost my train of thought. Like I said, this is my first episode, man. Please bear with me. But anyways, we all know that if he does remember anything, which I'm sure he does, he's going to end up, he still wants to talk to Kanan because he just found out that Kanan was his son. And I'm pretty sure if he don't remember that, even if he don't remember that Kanan is his son, he's probably going to try to, you know, frame or blackmail Rock. You feel me? He's probably going to end up working for Rock, or making her pay him off, because again, he does not have a job, you know, with the detectives no more. I guess they're making him stay on leave or something like that. I don't know what's going on. So anyways, it cuts back to this scene where everybody's at the apartment. I don't know if this is. I thought this was the trap house, but I guess not because the oven wouldn't work. But she's making dinner for everybody, and they all end up sitting at the table. It goes back to Juke coming out of her room, and Marvin and Lulu and the whole family is there, and you can see that Marvin and Jukebox are still not talking. They're still not getting along. We seen in the beginning of this review that they got into an argument, they got into a fight, and she's not wanting to talk to him, which you cannot blame her because he damn near almost killed her. You know what I mean? So, but they're sitting at the family table and they're having family dinner, and she's sitting here telling them that the most important thing in this game is that we are a family. We will always have each other's backs. We might have our differences. We might, get into, little things, little disagreements with each other, but we are family. It goes into this next scene where Famous is sitting here getting mad at his sister, AK, also, his manager. He's getting mad at her because he's not getting any airtime, he's not getting any studio time, and he's blaming her. He's lashing out at her, and he's talking about how he knows that she's fucking Lou, and little does he know that she's fucking Crown too. So he's kind of just throwing it in her face, talking shit, and they're both kind of going at it with each other too. And right here, this is back at the apartment after the family dinner, where Marvin, he kept trying to talk to Juke, and Juke was just being nonchalant, kind of ignoring him the whole time. And I screenshotted this because honestly I started cracking up when I seen this. And Kanan made a joke and was like, "Seems like you and Juke are really connected." You feel me? So that was kind of funny to me. And right here we got Rock talking to Lulu, talking about you fucking up on your part of this business because you keep trying to do this music thing. And he's talking about his music thing is his dream. He doesn't really want to be in the game too much anymore. He's trying to find a clean way out. And he really loves music. I don't know if you guys remember in the first season when he first came into the studio, he knew about all the equipment. He knew about the mic. He knew how to do everything, the instruments and everything. So he ended up, she's sitting there talking to him, and she's like, "You're not making money on that, so it's really only a hobby." And she says, "You sleeping on our business for your hobby." You can see right here that he's kind of getting frustrated with her, and he don't really like that she's talking about his dreams like that. Like once you talk to a man, if a woman ever tries to discredit your dreams or kind of make your dreams seem little, that it really hurts as a man. You feel me? But keep your dreams alive, fellas. So do not let that kind of bother you. Keep pushing. Right here it goes back to the same house, and Kanan is outside talking to Jukebox, and Jukebox is smoking a cigarette, and he's like, "When the hell did you start smoking cigarettes?" But as we all know, she's been stressed ever since the white girl died. And the white girl was like, the world didn't stop moving just because you went, to Manhattan or you went on vacation or whatever. So he's sitting out there talking outside, and what he sees Detective Howard. I don't know if he could see that it was him specifically, but he sees this car and he sees a face in there, and he knows it's driving by. So again, we're gonna see if Detective Howard really knows that he is the one who shot him. So right here, I don't know if all this is in the same, if they're still in the same house at the same time. I guess so, because they're all wearing the same stuff. But anyways, it's Rock explaining to them that she wants to bring War-El in. And she didn't want to say anything in front of Scrappy because she knew how Scrappy would feel about that. And they're kind of, startled too. They're looking like, what? They're kind of confused too. Like, why would you want to bring War-El into this? I thought he was our, we had beef with him. And she just kind of says, we might need to do that keep your enemies close thing. She thinks that she can bring him in and she can take out Unique Soldier so that when Unique does get out of jail, he has nothing to come back to. And what we see right here is even after Rock told Scrappy to stay away from gambling, stay away from his mom's card game, we see that he still couldn't even do that. And as it says, 50 Cent had a good little narration right here. He was talking about when something has a hold of you and you can't get away from it. If something has that strong of a hold on you, it will ruin you. And like it says right here, he just couldn't stay away from them cars, and they ended up getting raided by the police, and he ends up going to jail. And it cuts into this next scene where Detective Howard is coming in, to visit the precinct, and he sees his partner, still in his business, and he's looking at his partner like, "Is that my shooting?" Because he sees some files on the desk, and we all know how he feels about his partner, kind of getting into that business. He does not want her involved. He's trying to keep her away from things. I don't know if it's because of danger or if it's because he's trying to keep everybody in the hood protected, like he's kind of looking out for them type of stuff. But we also see, I wasn't able to get this screenshot. I don't know why, but we see he sees Scrappy over there talking to the police. And I think what's going to happen is that he's going to tell Rock at the end of the scene, at the end of this episode, we see that he ends up meeting up with Rock. And it kind of cuts out at that moment, so we don't know what happened. But I think what's going to happen is that he's going to tell Rock that he's seen Scrappy in the precinct, and they're going to think that Scrappy is snitching. So we got to look out for that. That is my prediction for episode 2. And if that happens, Scrappy is probably going to catch a bullet, which will suck. He's one of my favorite characters. He's always been loyal. He's always put in work. And I don't know. We're going to have to see what happens. Right here, we all know that Unique is about to get out. And we see all these Aryan brothers. I'm pretty sure they're Aryan. It's a whole bunch of white boys, blue eyes, blonde hair. They're about to, I can't say the word, but they're about to take advantage of this man in there. There's 3 of them, and there's only one of him. And what he's doing is they're trying to hold him down. They're trying to beat him up, and they're talking about, who my father is? Look at me. So what I think right here is, kind of just getting it from Lamont Tyson's episodes. I think that this dude because Unique ends up walking through the halls, and this dude ends up, kind of falling back into Unique, and Unique is like, watch where you going. And they end up getting into a fight, and Unique has some boxing skills. He must have boxed, has some training or whatever, because he ends up beating all 3 of them up. And the dude that he saves ends up telling him, thank you, whoop-de-woo. And I think what's going to happen is the dude that Unique saved, I think, is connected to somebody that will end up being Unique's new plug. I think it's somebody that's very high in the drug game. Right here, we still see Symphony. They're talking, and she just wanted to have dinner with him and say thank you. And Symphony, this is a complicated situation. Like I said, love is complicated. When you really love somebody, it comes with a lot of problems. And I'm not talking about like toxic problems. I'm not talking about like y'all go through unnecessary drama that doesn't need to happen. What I'm talking about is, man, like, I don't know. A lot of times when you love somebody, I seen I think a quote from Bob Marley. You know what I mean? That when you love somebody, when you decide to be with somebody, all you're doing is deciding that that's the person that you want to suffer with. You know what I mean? So here we see that they, kind of Symphony kind of trying to express his love and show her that he'll always be there. He'll always do everything. And, she knows that he's good for her, but she don't want him getting involved into the game. She doesn't want to show him who she really is because she thinks that he's not ready. And she don't, and she, I don't know. She's trying to protect him, and he's trying to, just come into her life. But, I don't know. We all know that he's going to end up, they're going to end up being closer and getting closer together. What we see right here is Lulu was getting into it with Jessica about how, again, just that they think that Famous needs more studio time or whatever, and even Famous is in the background. And I don't know, he's just pretty much talking about he's not going to roll the dice on something that's a bad gamble. You know what I mean? And Famous kind of, gets hurt. He's like, what's a bad gamble? I did my one single. And, he thinks he's hot fire. But what ends up happening is, oh yeah, and old boy Crown Camacho, the light skinned dude with the curly hair, he's over here simping over that girl, who we end up finding out later, he's fucking is Jessica, his girlfriend. He ends up trying to Crown Camacho. He's playing both sides. He's a simp. You know what I mean? But he's playing both sides, and he's trying to tell Lulu that he's kind of tripping, but then he also doesn't want to give up. The fact that he's smashing his girl, so he kind of tries to take Lulu's side too. But anyways, his new artist comes in, and he ends up breaking it to the whole room, and it's like, I'd like to introduce y'all to Ziza. You know what I mean? And everybody kind of has mixed emotions when they see her. But, again, this is the first episode, so we're just getting introduced to the whole storyline. So we'll see more about what happens with that as well. Right here, we see Marvin going into his anger management class. And when he was talking to his lawyer told him that he would be able to just sign in, and be able to leave. And when he tried to sign in, he tried to leave. This girl came, and this girl is kind of fire. You feel me? You see her looking at it like that, you already know that something's about to happen between them. They don't just put a fire-ass teacher, a fire-ass therapist in these shows or in these movies for no reason. Something is about to go down between him and her. They're going to end up getting intimately involved. But she ends up kind of putting her authority down on him too. And it was like, no, you not about to just sign in and leave. You about to sign in and sit your ass down, or I'm about to tell your lawyer and tell the cops that you're not obeying, that you're not following through with what you're supposed to, your court orders. So he kind of, she kind of puts her foot down and she makes him sit down, and something's gonna happen. Right here, Jukebox walks in when Ziza is singing in the booth, and you could tell that she definitely feels some type of way. We seen in the beginning that she already feels some type of way because she's not getting no studio time, which she has every right to, because she is probably by far I won't even say probably, she is by far the most talented artist in this entire show, aside from 50 Cent. But she is by far the most talented artist in this whole show. So you can see that she starts getting envious. She starts getting mad. And she does not like the girl. So I wonder what's going to happen. I don't know. I don't think she's going to end up killing the girl, But, we'll see. She does have that look in her eyes, though. Something will happen. I don't know if she'll end up beating her up or what's going to happen. But something will happen. And right here we see Lulu's girlfriend sleeping with his partner. He really should own. This shouldn't even be his partner. He should have killed him from the beginning. But we all knew that she was going to end up sleeping with him because in the first season, the whole time she was flirting with him. You know what I mean? So we all knew that she was a thought. She was for the streets, and she been sleeping with him the whole time because he even says, "What you think Lou would do if he knew about us?" He knew about it. So that means they've already been fucking this whole time. So, and she ends up telling him that, well, if he finds out, he's going to kill both of us. And I don't even know, what might happen is, I think he really will. I think he's going to kill her, and he might have to kill Famous, and he might kill him too. I don't know. I don't want to give out too many predictions. But I can't really wait for this second episode, man. So I'm trying to rush through. Again, this is my first episode. So if you do watch this, man, I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. We going to keep doing this throughout the whole season. And I'm going to do this with other things, other shows, I'm going to start reviewing restaurants, all of that. So I just want to thank y'all, from the beginning. If y'all here from the beginning. And if not, it's cool too. You feel me? We're going to grow. Right here, you could see that Kanan, it breaks back into their house, and Kanan is telling his mom that he finally tells his mom that he's having second thoughts, that he don't feel like he's built for this. He thinks he made a mistake, and what she says is, like I'm sorry because I made the mistake. I put you in danger, and I'm kind of getting this feel, and I feel like right here at this moment, with this, why I screenshotted this specific part is because I feel like he's starting to get a feel that she's in it for herself. You know what I mean? And she'll use every single piece. She thinks that she is the king. It always shows a chessboard. Even in the beginning of this whole slideshow, it starts the power world, the power universe, all starts with a chessboard. I really believe that she thinks she is the king, and she's using everybody as her pawns, everybody as her rooks. Putting them all in position to protect herself. And I think he's starting to get that feeling because when he tells her that you should probably get the phone because the phone is ringing when she's trying to express that, she's trying to protect him and do it all for him. I feel like he's starting to believe that she's full of shit. You know what I mean? Right here we see Unique getting out of jail. And 50 Cent's narration is A1. He is a top-notch narrator. I even listened to him reading his book. What is the book called? I have it over here. To Get Rich. I don't know what it is. It wasn't To Get Rich or Die Trying. But anyways, hold on. I'm going to read it. Oh yeah, Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. You could get that. You could listen to that whole book, the audio book on YouTube. It's one of the best books, the best audio book by far that I've ever heard because it was 50 Cent reading his own book, and most audio books are read by a random person, and they're always pretty boring. But this one was read by 50 Cent, and it sounds just like all his narrations in all his movies. So what it shows is Unique getting out of jail, and it's kind of just saying that when you come out, you got to be the same person that you was when you went in, but now you got to be harder, and you got to let people feel you. You got to let people know that you still there. And like it says, you need to remind them, and it cuts into this scene where Detective Howard is meeting up with Rock. And I think this is the last slide, so I'm not gonna go into the next one. AJ, if you in the chat, Smooth, if you in the chat, I'm about to end this episode. Let me know what you think. AJ, I wanted to get on and we could have gamed a little bit earlier, but I had to go to work later, so I won't be able to. But we're gonna do that pretty soon. We could play Fall Guys, we could play Fortnite, all that. But I gotta go to work this week, so probably won't be able to till Saturday. But I hope you still doing good in school. Make sure that you doing your chores. Make sure that you listening to your mom. You know what I mean? So I love you, man, and just hope you have a good week at school. You know what I mean? And if I do get on, I'll let you know. You'll see if I'm on and we can play something. But right now, I'm about to go ahead and end this because I got to go to work later and I got to watch this next episode. Do you watch Power, AJ? Adriel? So anyways, yeah, it says that Detective Howard, you need to remind them. It cuts into all those scenes. And that is the end. So thank y'all for watching this. But I'm going to go ahead and close out this video. If you like this video, man, like, comment, share, subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification bell so that it updates you every time I drop a new video. And I can't wait to watch this next episode. So, if you do watch this, man, I appreciate y'all. But until the next video, man, get some sun, get some exercise, drink your water, and take care of your peace of mind. You dig? Peace.